Hey everybody, I'm raw food chef Chaya Ryvka from thelivingvision.com here on behalf of Living Tree Community Foods, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different for you. I'm highlighting some of Living Tree's beautiful oils and spices, and I'll talk about those in a moment. The recipe is not such a recipe today, but it's an improvisation. This is what I do at home when I want to make something. And specifically right now, it's actually just into winter. We just celebrated winter solstice yesterday or the day before or something like that, and it's been chilly. And if you are interested in either sticking to a raw food diet or at least incorporating a lot of raw foods during the winter time, that can be a little challenging because cold food does not sound attractive when it's cold outside. You want warming food that heats you up from the inside. So I'm going to be making some Nori Wraps that I'm calling winter warming Nori Wraps. We're going to do a sunflower pate that's going to go inside of those. And it's a very warming wrap that satisfies me deeply. And it's also nourishing my immune system and warming up my body from the inside out. So the ingredients that I'm using in this section for the pate from Living Tree are their Olio Nuovo olive oil, which is the first pressing of the season of olives. And this olive oil comes from a California farmer, an award-winning California family farmer, Chaya Ryvka. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And this is an antioxidant-rich olive oil. It has a beautiful, robust flavor. It adds a bit of a kick, a bit of a spiciness, but it's not green or grassy in flavor, and it's really lovely. So try it out. It's only available for about 2 months because it's the first pressing of the first olives of the season, which is really special. And then the other oil that I'm adding in here is the black cumin seed oil, which I hadn't heard about before Living Tree. So I've just been doing a little bit of reading about black cumin seed oil, and it's phenomenal. It has a heritage of being a super healing oil and substance to take in, and from headaches to allergies to stomach issues to there's people proclaiming it as having anti-cancerous properties and using it to reduce tumor sizes, and just in general being extremely good for your immune system. So there's one article I was reading, and you can actually find these articles on the Living Tree website under their black cumin seed oil. But one of the articles was saying just taking a teaspoon a day boosts and increases your immune system exponentially. And then they were giving other doses if you're dealing with more serious illness. And it's been used for over 2,000 years. They found it in Egypt in the tombs. So I had no idea, plus the flavor of cumin is incredible, and it definitely imparts that flavor. So I'm going to use it in here just to boost our the healing properties of this pate, as well as the flavor. And then we have our French sea salt, the Sel Gris de Guérande sea salt. I'm probably destroying that name as well, but it's a beautiful mineral-rich sea salt, and all of the sea salts available from the Living Tree website are mineral-rich, healing salts, and we need those minerals in our bodies to function across the board. So I'm going to show you what I do. First off, I'm making a sunflower seed pate. The seeds are more alkaline and usually easier to digest than nuts for people, but you can make your pate with nuts as well. Almonds are the most alkaline of the nuts. But whatever you're going to use, you definitely want to soak it first. And I've been soaking my nuts with about a teaspoon of sea salt. Obviously that's going to depend on how much you are soaking, but I want my water to be salty because according to the Weston Price Foundation and people who have studied the ways of indigenous peoples whose bodies were always well mineralized through their native diets, that they would always soak their nuts and seeds in a sea salt solution, thereby reducing the anti-nutrients that are found in all nut seeds, grains, legumes. So I do 2 soakings I soak them for about 24 hours. I rinse them really well to get all the holes off and to make sure they're very clean. And then for this, I'm using it fresh. And I like to soak a lot of seeds because whatever I don't use in the fresh pate, then I'll take those and dehydrate them. And you can spice them up if you want to, but I just like dehydrating them plain. And there's a lot you can do with that, as well as just having some seeds to snack on if you feel like you need some more of that heavy protein. And the winter months are good. It's good to have that around. So let me pull out my food processor. You're going to want to have a food processor to make a pate. And this is a pretty basic recipe. It's not a recipe, but I use these ingredients regularly because they work really well together. You definitely can use whatever vegetables you have in your refrigerator. Change up the spices, make it original, or if you like specific spice flavorings in your food in general, just add those in and play. Elements that I find really important in my pates are to have an acid and an oil to really make a nice creamy and bright flavor in your pate. So what I have here is I actually did measure out about 3 cups of soaked sunflower seeds, soaked and rinsed, which I'm not using that amount because it comes from a pate. It just seemed like 3 cups seems like the right amount. I'm going to throw those in. Then I have here celery, carrots, some red onion, some garlic, and some parsley. So this is kind of like if you ever made a tuna salad. This would be like a fresh tuna salad without a mayo. And rather than chopping everything up into fine pieces and mixing it all together, I'm just going to toss it all in my food processor and break it down to whatever texture feels good to that day. Sometimes I like it chunkier, sometimes I like it really, really smooth. So I'm going to add in some carrots. This is just a couple nice fresh carrots. I've been getting really into buying the carrots with the stems on. There is no comparison between buying carrots bunched up with their stems on them and carrots that already have their stems taken off. The ones with the stems on are crisp and juicy and sweet and really have become like my candy because I've been not eating sugar for 3 months now of any sort, so no fruit, no honey, no nothing. And carrots have been satisfying my sweet tooth like I could have never imagined, especially the ones from the farmer's market with the stems on them. So now I'm going to add some celery, and that's about 2 stalks of celery. And I've got a half of a medium red onion chopped up here, and I really like garlic, so I'm adding in 3 nice big cloves of garlic. And that garlic is also going to be great for your immune system, for an antibacterial property. We're going to add in some more healing elements later when we actually make our warming Nori Wrap. I'm going to add some of our sea salt. And, you know, start with less. That looked like a pretty big scoop, but I've done this a lot, so I know about how much I use. But this is really what I do at home. I don't normally actually measure things out and follow a recipe in terms of pates at least. And then I also have here some kelp powder, which is great for your iodine intake and for minerals. And if you're living out here in California or on the West Coast with all this Fukushima stuff, you really want to take in a lot of sea vegetables, iodine-rich food that's going to support your thyroid and processing any radiation that you might be taking into your body. So that's that. And that's also going to give it a bit of a seedy flavor. Mild, but it's going to be there slightly, which can be quite nice actually if you come from enjoying a tuna salad or a salmon salad or something like that, because it will bring out a little bit more of that flavor for you. So now I'm going to pour in some fresh squeezed lemon juice. And I really like the tanginess. That was just under, okay, so I squeezed 2 kind of medium sized lemons. And I didn't quite put all of it in yet, but I will give it a taste and I might just end up adding the rest of it a bit later. And now for our Olio Nuovo olive oil. It's so special. This is going to really enhance the flavor of this pate. And really, you know, just use this olive oil over your salads. Make it very simple so you can really taste it. Yeah, just some lemon juice and olive oil and a little sea salt. So I'm just going to put in a bit. Maybe that was more than a bit, what do you think? It smells and tastes amazing. I just did some pure oil tasting, and it's something to savor. So, you know, if you do eat a whole sourdough bread, non-yeasted, then, and you like to dip that in some fresh olive oil, this olive oil is going to just melt your heart. Now we have some black cumin seed oil, and I don't really want to overpower it with the flavor, but I do want to get some of that healing, I want to get some of the healing properties from it. So I'm not going to add a tiny bit, but I'm not going to add too much either. Okay, so that was probably about a tablespoon and a half, I'm guessing. And I bet this oil and both of those oils are going to be incredible for my skin. So let's just rub that in a little bit. And it smells phenomenal. Wow. Oh my goodness, that black cumin seed oil is extremely fragrant. Okay, so that's all of our ingredients, except I do have some parsley here. And I'm going to put that in at the end, because if I decide to let this go into a smooth pate, if I put the parsley in right now, the pate will be green. That's not the worst thing in the world. And it's not even that bad, but for some people they might get turned off by that, whereas seeing the flecks of parsley is easier for them to consider eating. Okay, so let's cover this and get it processing. Sometimes I like to just pulse it like that. That helps everything to feed down. And we're going to get it to scrape this down. Mix it a bit. I have a feeling I'm going to need some more salt. It actually looks like more pate than I was imagining, but it smells. Wow, it smells good. I'm going to give it a little taste now. This at this point will tell me if I want a little more lemon juice, if I want more tanginess, if I want to add a little more olive oil for creaminess, if I like the texture at this point, or, you know, any of those flavors, or if I want a little more of one of the veggies in there. Wow. That's quite delicious. Wow. It doesn't need the rest of the lemon juice, but it won't hurt, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that in there. And I will pulse it down a little further. It's slightly spicy from the onion and garlic, so I'm not sure if Hoagie's going to love it, but we'll let him try it. He usually only likes things smooth. I might decide to leave this one chunky. Let's see here. I do like it chunky. I'm going to add some parsley to it now, so that it doesn't get too smooth before that. And I washed and dried this parsley first. I'm going to break it up a little bit more, which will help it to feed down into the center. And I'm feeling a little bit more of our beautiful and succulent Olio Nuovo olive oil. It will just be the delight of delights. I'd add even more lemon juice to it, but it is delicious as it is, so we don't have to do that. So now I'm going to move some stuff out of the way, and we'll go ahead and make some of our winter warming Nori Wraps. Okay, so back again. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but Living Tree sells raw certified organic nori sheets, and these are from China. They're not part of the Pacific Ocean where you might be concerned about radioactive waste from Fukushima. The other thing that you might not be aware of that Living Tree carries is Icelandic dulse. And dulse, if you have not come to love your sea veggies yet, buy some of their dulse, some of Living Tree's dulse, some of their nori. Dulse is a salty, chewy, delicious sea plant that is, all of the sea vegetables are really essential for your mineral intake, and especially if you're a vegetarian, you really need to supplement those minerals because of the depletion of minerals in the soil, and just for your general overall health and well-being. Seaweed, sea plants are incredible for you, and nori is one of the most delicious sea plants. Personally, avocado and nori are one of the best mixes on the planet. I throw strips of it into my salads, into my wraps, all over the place. You can cook with it. So do try it out, and it might take a minute to get used to that seed flavor if you're not used to it yet, but you'll get used to it, and it's going to benefit your life and your health vastly. So check that out. Okay, so for our nori wraps, I'm going to start with a sheet of our raw organic nori. We'll put that down here. And the first thing that I'm going to add to my, instead of having my salad with bread, or even like if I have a salad with a scoop of this pate on top rather than making a nori roll, then I'll just take my little nori sheet, stuff it with my salad, a little pate, a little avocado if I want to, and roll it up and have a delicious little salad roll that really satisfies in a way that a plain salad wouldn't. Plus, you're getting the added benefit of your nori. Okay, so let's get a new piece of nori out. And if you have kids or new kids, start feeding them seaweed early. They really do like the salty flavor of the dulse, and the nori has a really savory flavor. So you can get them into the habit of eating it, and it will benefit their health for the rest of their lives if they enjoy that flavor. They start out enjoying that flavor. Okay, so I'm going to start with a little avocado, because I'm going to eat this right after we make this video, and I would love a little avocado for my dinner. Okay, so I'm using about a quarter of an avocado, and I'm just going to spread that right across here. Oh, you know what I forgot to add that I wanted to talk about because of this winter warming wrap? What I've been enjoying is spicier flavors because they warm up your body. So one thing that I've enjoyed putting on my wrap, excuse me for walking away while I'm talking, is some mustard. And Eden, they make this organic mustard that is the simplest mustard that you can find, and it only has whole mustard seeds, organic apple cider vinegar, water, and sea salt. So it's awesome. I'm going to go ahead and add a little of that to my nori wrap as well, which gives it also, it gives it a feeling like I'm eating a sandwich. So just a little stripe of mustard. Normally I would have put that down beneath my avocado, but it doesn't matter. You're rolling it up. All the flavors get mixed in there. And I like sprinkling a tad bit of salt over my avocado. Just a tad. And then at this point, we can also add some of our dulse strips. That adds a nice chewiness and also another layer of a different type of salt add as much of that as you want to. And then we're going to add some salad mix. This is the easy way to go. If you're like me, you want to figure out something to do really fast, you get hungry, you're busy, so just throw it together. And when you make a nice big pate like this, it just keeps in your refrigerator for a few days. You can even add some probiotic powder to it and make it a probiotic-rich food. So I just added a little bit of our organic salad mix to that. Now what I have on this plate are some julienne cucumbers, carrots, and bell peppers. And honestly, when I'm making this and I'm in a hurry, I don't make these beautiful little pieces of cucumber, julienne pieces of carrots. I'll just chunk up big chunks of it, throw it in there, make it really fast, and keep going. So I'm just going to line these up. And sometimes I don't add a pate at all. So keep that in mind. You can just do everything that I'm doing here. And I would drizzle a little bit of that Olio Nuovo olive oil right on top of this, just a bit. And I would drizzle a little of the cumin seed oil right on top of this. I'm also adding some red bell peppers to it, whatever veggies you have around. Sometimes all I have is celery left. I need to go shopping and I don't have anything else. So I'll put the mustard, the avo, a chunk of celery, and I've been in the habit of making my own sauerkraut, but I ran out, and so I just ran out and bought some of this farmhouse culture. There's your health food store has, I'm sure, tons of varieties. This is a new one in our neighborhood, but I really like it because it's reasonably priced and it's high integrity ingredients, as well as packaging, which is so cool. So that will give you more beneficial flora in your gut, which is going to help your immune system, help your body process everything that you're eating more efficiently, and help your body to absorb all of those nutrients and minerals that are in there. The sauerkraut or fermented veggies are going to be a really important part of a healthy, well-rounded diet for anyone, no matter what other food you're eating. So there's a nice pile of sauerkraut, and as you can see already, this really doesn't even need any pate on it because it's getting so big and full. I should be careful of how much I'm adding here. I will put a bit of our pate. Let's see here. And just a bit because we're getting pretty filled up here. But it definitely will create more of a feeling of satiety. So this would be for a meal that you want to be really satisfying. The other thing that I'm adding here that you can see here is Living Tree Community Foods carries cayenne pepper. And if you don't know about the healing properties of cayenne pepper, look this one up online because it is so healing for your body. It helps your body to process fats. It clears out arteries. It helps with circulation. High source of vitamin C. There's so many benefits of making cayenne pepper a regular part of your diet that you should really just take the time. And this seems like a huge bottle of cayenne, but you'll go through it if, especially during these winter months like me, you're adding it to everything. And I'm really just adding it to everything. I have my jar and I just sprinkle it over stuff. Start less so that you can get used to that heat. But what you'll find is after you eat a cold meal even, like this Nori Wrap, that has your cayenne pepper, your mustard, your garlic in there, your body feels warm from the inside out. It's not a hot that starts on the outside that's hot coming in, but it's the heat that comes from the inside out, and you really end up feeling warmed up and satisfied. So I have an open jar here, and literally I'm just going to shake, shake, shake my cayenne pepper. Obviously I'm not doing that for Hody, but this is going to be delicious for me. Now once I've done that, this Nori Wrap looks massive, which it is, and my Nori Wraps end up being quite messy when I eat them. I don't mind. I have a nice big napkin. So now I'm kind of folding my Nori Wrap in half to shake everything down. That lettuce takes up quite a bit of room. So once I can fold one half of the nori all the way over to the other one, then I can start pulling all those filling ingredients back. I want to squeeze it nice and tight. That way I can actually get this down to a size that will be reasonable for eating. There we go. It's nice and tight now. And normally with Nori Wraps, you'll have a little bowl of water, which I forgot to get right here. Dip your fingers in, rub it at the edge there, and it will stick together. Okay, so I'm just rolling that up there. And now let's move our veggies to the side. I'll probably end up eating those as well. That's a bell pepper, honey. Did you want a cucumber or a carrot?
This one is spicy.
No, it's not spicy. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half so you can take a look at what the inside looks like. There you go. And it's a beautiful meal, served along with the salad or really just by itself is usually plenty for me. And you'll walk away feeling extremely satisfied. So wintertime raw is possible if you want to go that way. I definitely personally love my warm soups as well, but in the beginning of the year I'm probably going to go on a period of time where I'm 100% raw just to do some deeper cleansing. And I'll be doing tons of these Nori Wraps or romaine boats, but it's great to have the nori in there for the minerals. Anyhow, that's it for today. I hope you guys play with these ingredients and try them out. Definitely take advantage of the Olio Nuovo olive oil, the black cumin seed oil. It sounds like this is something you just want to keep in your kitchen. Yes, one moment, honey. In your kitchen medicine cabinet, the cayenne pepper, that is so important and vital right now. Okay, so Hody wants me to stop, and you guys have probably had an earful anyhow. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm raw food chef Chaya Ryvka from thelivingvision.com here with Living Tree Community Foods. We will be back and share something new with you really soon. Thanks for joining. Bye.